Top of the morning to you. It's Saturday, the 14th of September, following Friday the 13th of September. We have had an absolute maelstrom of weather thrown at us this week. We've had typhoons in the north. We have had absolute deluges from the skies. And we are now having floods up and down the country, about to hit Vientiane according to the forecasts. We were even told by the weather girls, it's going to start raining men. Welcome to BNF Asia. Floods? Cock-a-doodle-doo, Stephen, what are you talking about? Well, what I'm going on about is Vientiane is in a situation where the river is rising, and the way the city was developed a long time ago is that 1966 I think there was a big flood, and since then basically the outskirts of the city, or the outskirts of the city then, were developed drainage wise, so that during a flood, should it happen again, the water will run from the city centre out to the rice lands on the outskirts and further away, which is where I'm stood now, which is not too far from my house. And as you can see, there are plenty of bits of water, generally on a daily basis, day-to-day basis. This is just like a river, runs right the way through, and it goes all the way. I think it starts up by the golf course, by Lakeview Golf Course, and it winds its way through all the areas, collecting water, and then it eventually goes about 25 kilometres downstream to a place where there are a return to river system, sluice gates and pumping stations. I will take you down there later. I'll hopefully get the drone up here in a minute and show you the mass of the land that this covers, and it's only where I am I'll be able to show you. It goes on for miles and miles and miles. I will put it on a map at some stage and basically show you how it drains from the city centre back into these catchment areas, which, as I say, were the outer lying rice fields of Vientiane, but are now being developed, or have been developed. I know that it's been developed because it's where my house is. Let me just get in out of the rain. So we'll wait for this rain to go off, and we'll hopefully get the drone up, and you can see what I mean by these collective zones. So I'm just stopped on Tadua Road, just outside Tadua village, downstream of Vientiane city centre. Tadua Road here goes right along the Mekong River, and here it is. She's coming up a fair bit. There's my old plates, and there's the Mekong. It's getting pretty close. Had some rain last night. And there's a lot of flow in it. Still debris coming down. Some of the houses on this road, the police had blocked the road off. Look at this little fella. He didn't last, did he? When I turned off the 450 to get onto Tadua Road, the bottom of the 450 by the river, the police have a roadblock there, so they're organised should there be a rising level down here and Tadua floods. I'm not sure whether it's worse further down. I believe the Buddha Park is flooded. We'll go and have a look at that, and we will head down to those return to river gates and see what the situation is down there. So I'm just further down now, next to the Buddha Park, on the same road, on Tadua Road. And this is what we got right next to the road. The river is about, I'd say 250 metres straight through those trees. So it's breached the banks here. As I say, right next to the Buddha Park. It's raining a little bit. I'm going to throw the bird up and see what we can see. We were here last week. We were filming here last week. It was bone dry. You'll see that video today when I finally get it out. But as of this moment, Buddha Park is closed. It's underwater. So I'm just turning away from the river now. This is the bend that I've just turned down. I'm probably about half a kilometre from the river, just turning on this bend now, and I'm going to follow it round till I get to the return to river gates, if I can get there, because there's a lot of places flooded. I've just driven through a couple of floods, and this place here. So there's the river that way. And this is just rice fields, flooded as far as the eye can see. So I'm going to motor on until I get to these sluice gates. So this is the sluice gates, the return to river, or one of the return to river points. Passed quite a few on the way out to here, small tributaries with sluice gates, but this is the main one. This is the one that takes the water from inland Vientiane, should it flood, and we'll send it back out to the river after the flood subsides. So this is Riverside. So your Mekong's that side. They've got all the pumps going down here. And they're pumping water across the road. This is the main road. They're pumping water out back Mekong side from the land side. Now you can see how high this is. And this is the runoff from the land in Vientiane. And I am 25 kilometers downstream of Vientiane. And as they're pumping it out, it's coming back in. So it's a balancing act. And as I say, this is not a runoff for when Vientiane floods. It's a runoff after Vientiane has flooded. The city is designed, it runs along the river. The city is designed so that should the river walls flood, then that water will run off away from the city to the rice fields, surrounding rice fields, and then from the surrounding rice fields they kind of start in Tatlawang Marsh. If you're a local, I shall show you on a map, and it runs in small rivers, if you like, from that area, Tatlawang Marsh, gathering all of that stored water, if you like, stored storm water. It gathers all of that and directs it out through the rice fields to here where I am. Now the river's up, so it can't go anywhere. The gates are closed. It's still getting past the sluice gates inland, going back into town. So it's coming in through the back door. If it comes over down in the city, then we're in big trouble. The whole of the city will flood, because this end's already flooding. This end cannot cope. Gates are closed. They're trying to pump it out. It's coming in as quick as it's going out. So this was the lifeline, basically, of getting the water away from the centre of town if it comes over the wall in the city. Does that make sense? Just driving along to this point, I knew it was going to be pretty rough up here when I got here, with the roads flooded further down. A couple of villages are flooded. This road has been recently built. It's a really good road, and it's obviously been elevated as it goes along through the villages. So the houses either side of the road are at a lower elevation. The rivers come up. There are people that are waist deep in water. They're packing the stuff, they're putting it in plastic buckets and bowls and floating the bowls along the streets. They're very sad. But the Lao people, you know, you can throw a lot at them. The survivors, they say Bopenyang, never mind. They say let's see. That's another one that they're like, let's see. So let's hope it doesn't get any worse. Sadly, there's already people suffering, those with houses along the riverside downstream. I'm going to go take a look upstream as well.
Heaven holds a sense of wonder, and I wanted to believe that I get caught up when the rage in me subsides. In this wide wave I am sinking, in this silence, in this this white wave, in this silence I believe. In this white wave I am sinking, in this silence, in this white wave, in this silence I believe. I can't help this longing, comfort me. I can't hold it all in if you won't let me. Heaven.
So I'm just down by the clock tower, which is kind of 6 kilometers outside of the city centre. Just watching the river go by now. It's very high. I'm by the water pumping station and it's almost breaching there, and flotsam going down the river is flying down there, so there's plenty of water coming along. I'm going to see if I can throw the bird up. The rain's not too bad at the moment, so let's see if we can get the drone up and have a look along the coastline. So I'm just about 200 metres from the garage bar at the moment, just off the roundabout, hiding behind sandbags. Otherwise, this road will be pretty flooded. And it's still rising, still raining. So I'm just at KM4, driving down the road. There's army trucks everywhere, police everywhere. I'm just at that low level pier. I'm wondering whether that's breached. Seems to be a lot of action around here. Where they were filling it up with sand, they got big sandbags there. That seems to be the weak point of concern, which it was in 2008, because all along kilometre 4 here, where Wesso office is, accounts office, is low lying. There is a runoff which takes it back to the runoff area, which is where we live. So yeah, if it does flood, then it's gonna head where we are miles away from the river. The water will drain back to where we live. So it is what it is. So I'm just down on the Mekong, not far from Donny Chan's palace down there. This is as close to town as I'm going to go, because there's just cars back to back, nose to tail. Everybody's rubbernecking the river. It's getting a bit silly. So it's right up by the bank here. I would say 2.5 meters before it breaches the road here. I'll have a look at the data that the Mekong River Commission are putting online and see whether it's gone down overnight or up. But here in the middle of town it seems fairly okay. So we shall see. Downstream seems to be the problem, and that's where it'll get in through the back door if it keeps going up. So that's where we are with the floods for the moment. We'll see how it goes tonight. If it's worsening, I will get out and about and give you a bit of an update.